As the world is experiencing a number of challenges, African countries must strengthen cooperation and solidarity. That's according to the Minister in the Presidency for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Maropene Ramokgopa. She's hosting the Liberian Minister Without Portfolio in the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs Mamaka Bility in Pretoria. The Liberian delegation is on a study tour in South Africa to work around planning, monitoring and evaluation.
Well, certainly, you look at South Africa and Liberia, geographically they are very apart, but these are very strong nations where they work together in so many aspects, AU members, but also believing in the vision of Africa in terms of the Pan-African belief, but also in terms of issues of planning, making sure that we eradicate poverty and many other things as well. So I'm just going to get into it, Minister. I'm going to start with you, with your delegation from Liberia, right here in South Africa. Tell us about your expectations here.
Well, we're here today to be able to learn and adopt best practices that the Department of Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation are doing with my sister minister next to me. We're hopeful, and I'm glad about the openness. We are a baby unit. We had a unit before, but then the unit was decommissioned, and we're trying to resuscitate and revamp the President Delivery Unit in order to be able to implement their arrest agenda for inclusive development. That's our development agenda. So we're looking within, we're looking in South Africa, we're looking at our sister country. So we're happy to be here today, the team and I. It's going to be a 2-day intensive, but we're ready to learn. Mm-hmm. We're ready to learn and bring the President Delivery Unit back.
Very much so. And Minister, you were just talking about the importance of the bilateral ties between South Africa and Liberia, talking about the time, the fight against apartheid, and now different challenges that we face in terms of economic development and many other issues. I mean, take us through to the expertise that you have at your disposal.
Thank you very much. I was actually saying to my sister here that one of the things that we would like to learn, especially from South Africa, is how to utilize what we have. For example, the strength of the women in society to deal with gender-based violence here at home. Because one of the things that we have learned about Liberia, for example, is that they used to have a civil war. That war was ended by women because they organized themselves and they were able to actually end it themselves and ensure that there's peace in Liberia. From our side, of course, we would like to continue with the trade that we believe that can grow so that we can then now deal with the issues of employment, but also inclusive growth. They also have the agenda to deal with inclusivity. So the inclusive growth that we are trying to build as South Africa, we don't only want it to be here, but we want it to be all over the continent. Precisely because we are learning that if you don't consolidate the continent itself, when you've got things like tariff wars that are now emerging, you would then now find yourself isolated. But if you strengthen the region as Africa, you are going to then now be able to have a buffer as it relates to inclusive growth and economic activities, which we are also going to be dealing with as it relates to policies that can bring us together so that we can also share with our counterparts from our respective countries.
And I would imagine, Minister, you fully concur, especially in light of these geopolitical developments where solidarity is more critical for Africa and many other regions in terms of deepening trade and also planning in terms of making sure that, for the population, for the youngsters, there are jobs and many other opportunities.
Yes, I just came back from the Africa CDC conference in Addis, and it was purely based on looking within Africa, because I think this period is an opportunity. We should look at it as an opportunity to bring Africa together, to be able to move the continent and look from within. So, for example, you have Uganda. They've been producing medication, but it's been kept on the low. So we want to look to African countries to be able to build our solidarity. As a continent, we're big, we're powerful, and that we should keep it that way and embrace ourselves.
And before I let you go, Minister, I would imagine this is Agenda 2063 in action, where it's all about making sure that all countries are prosperous, peaceful, and we see development really thriving.
It is definitely thriving. Of course, the issues of silencing the gun is one of the things that is quite important for both our countries, but ensuring that the AfCFTA, it's so long, the African Free Trade Area is actually strengthened, because if we don't deal with it ourselves as African countries, we would then now not be able to realize what we have termed as the biggest trading area in the world. So we need to strengthen that by ensuring that the cooperation between our countries bilaterally and also in the continent altogether, also strengthening the multilateral institutions as well, need to be strengthened in this way. So this kind of relationship that we are building, we are growing, will definitely assist us to deal with that.
Certainly, Minister, and just before I wrap it up, I would imagine you want it to be mutually beneficial for Pretoria and Monrovia, Minister, before I let you go.
Yes, so we're looking forward to meaningful discussions and partnerships. Yesterday we were actually at UNICEF. So we have a South African company that's rolling out an infrastructure project in our country right now with 285 machines. So we want to partner with UNICEF to be able to train our young people. Liberia is a country of 70% youthful population. So we're looking on partnering with UNICEF to bring our young people here to train them in order to maintain the sustainability of the program, how you maintain, how you move the project forward so that it's actually worth it at the end of the day. So I'm looking forward to it a lot.
All right. Thank you so much indeed for your time, Minister. So a very seminal point here in Pretoria. As South Africa and Liberia, they want to really fortify ties, but also focusing really on key areas around planning, monitoring and evaluation, as it's going to be a 3-day tour here in the country. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Pretoria.